Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Pastrami Nation Popcorn. I'm your host, Kevin, and with me today is Nolan Smith and Rebecca Benson.
Hello.
Thank you. This is the new podcast where we talk about everything movies, TV related that we love and things that have kind of happened throughout the past week and just kind of stuff that we want to talk about.
This is gonna
how
be
you guys
great.
doing today? Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Excited for this, Kevin. You have thrown this idea around at me for a bit, so I'm excited to see it, finally come to fruition. And I mean, we're talking about something that all three of us love. We all love cinema, and we all love TV. So, I'm jazzed, man.
Definitely. Good. Well, yeah, that's great. So there's a few things we want to talk about this week. The first one, so today on Netflix, The Haunting of Bly Manor released. The second season of the Haunting of, I guess you call it the Haunting of Hill House series. I don't know what you would call it. This is the Haunting of series. Mike Flanagan's back. A lot of the same cast is back to do it as well. You guys excited to check it out? What do you guys think? What are your guys' thoughts?
I love the first season that it was based off of, so I'm really excited for the second one.
I watched the trailer for this Bly Manor. It looks creepy as hell. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, dolls and little girls shushing, crackling monsters, but at the same time, I think it strikes the right chord. Like, I loved the feel of it, the vibe it gave me. I did not watch the previous show, so this is exciting for me. It looks good and it looks well timed. Yeah,
it very much. You haven't watched Hill House yet, huh?
No, I know. Surprising, right?
Yeah,
Hill House but Rebecca has.
Yeah. And that's the book that it's based off of too.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm actually reading that book now. I haven't finished it yet. It's kind of like it's an older book, so like a lot of it just takes a lot to getting used to with the rhythm and everything of her writing. Mm-hmm. But the book's really good so far. How did you find? Did you read the book before you watched the show, or?
No, I read it in the middle of watching the first one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wow.
So because I wanted any spoilers, so I would know what would happen to kind of expect things.
Right.
See what Netflix did with the book.
That's cool. How did they manage to pull it off pretty good as far as like comparison wise? Was it fairly close? I mean, I know obviously modern setting dealing with a few different issues in the book, but
I think Netflix takes it a little bit deeper as far as psyche goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I know Netflix, like the first season definitely dealt a lot with like trauma and addiction and things like that. And I was wondering how that really, applied to the book. And if there was a lot of that in the book, or if the book was just a lot more just of the haunting aspect and not really digging into the psychological aspect of it all. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm really excited to check out Bly Manor. I think it's, I like the anthology feel they're doing with it, keeping it with the same cast, but kind of putting a different, different environment and things like that. So yeah, looks cool. Looking forward to it. It started today. So
on Netflix, huh?
Yeah, on Netflix. Definitely going to be part of our Halloween watch list this year. Hopefully, if we could get it in within the next 2 weeks.
I have a question for you, Kevin.
Yeah.
So I think something else was part of your Halloween watch list. I mean, you don't have to jump into it if you don't want, but Adam Sandler's what is it? Hubie Halloween.
Gosh. Oh yeah. So to be fair, to be completely honest, we didn't finish it. And
that's why you don't have to give me your.
Yeah. No, but I'm watching it and like 5 minutes in, I'm like, okay, like. So here's the thing. I used to love Sandler growing up. Like as a teenager, like Sandler. He was my thing. And like, I love like, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, Big Daddy's like Waterboy's great. What's that?
50 First Dates. Yeah.
50 First Dates is great. Like all those movies are really good. But then like once he started doing Netflix movies, it just kind of.
I'll give you that.
Like went downhill a little. And I don't know. Just can't do it anymore.
I feel like it was since Jack and Jill. Things have been changing.
Things have been changing since Jack and Jill. I think the last like really good movie he had might have been Click, in my opinion. I actually like Click a lot.
I like the Grown Up series just because it was just stupid fun. Like,
Yeah.
there wasn't much of a story you had to follow. You had a bunch of great comedians in there, and you just got to see them interact. But, Gone was what we're used to. Like, the funny story, coming of age, loser, or this or that, like Billy Madison.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to lie. When I saw this pop up on Netflix, I was like, I need to watch this. And then I saw you post up about it. Sorry, I had to bring it up.
No, that's totally fine. And I think the thing with Sandler, though, is I really feel like he needs to be kind of reined in a little bit. So, like, because I feel like his best movies are, like, the ones where he's not in charge of everything. So, like, yeah, he's not a director or anything, but he has a lot of pull in the Happy Madison company. So, yeah, he produces everything, and he has there's no filter, so there's no one to say to kind of reel it back a little bit,
And maybe he would benefit from somebody doing that to be like, hey, like, let's back it up.
I think so, and I think that was the thing with like something like Uncut Gems, for example, which I haven't seen yet.
I still need to see that too.
Yeah, it's on Netflix too, I think, right now. But
it is.
I think not only because it's a different type of role for him, but I think because he was working with different people in a different studio, that word of mouth was that it's one of his best performances in years because he did something different, And I don't know.
I thought you were talking about Hubie Halloween. Sorry.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, definitely. Hubie Halloween. And I love, like, after watching, so I watched Becky last weekend with Kevin James, and he was freaking incredible in it, and you can see so much depth. And he, like, just killed it in that movie. Is so good, but then he goes back to this, and I understand what it is. It's like you just want to hang out with your friends.
It's what you know.
Yeah, and I'm the same. People say the same stuff about, like, Kevin Smith movies, like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Like, it's just the same old. Like, not a whole lot of differences, but
sometimes it's not a bad thing, right?
Sometimes it's not a bad thing, and I think, it's a double-edged sword, man. Like, I see why Sandler's doing them, and I see why people enjoy it. And it's just like I tell people all the time, like, it would just be awesome just to get together with a group of your friends and just get paid to goof around, and that would be the best thing. So
I wouldn't turn that down.
Why he does it.
Not at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like, that'd be the best gig in the world. Like, it's whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna finish watching it, and
hopefully we can talk about that on the next one then too.
Hopefully we can, and then we can Hubie Halloween, and then we can maybe if you watch it, we could have some not dueling reviews, but maybe see different perspectives depending on if you liked it or not, like,
have a dueling debate.
Have a dueling debate on the movie.
You get my face shield.
Right? Get your face. Yeah, we need those now, right? But yeah, I'll definitely be keeping you updated with the movie.
Awesome.
Definitely.
I look forward to your opinion on it.
How about you, Rebecca? Are you a Sandler fan? Are you looking forward to it at all? Are you?
I want to see what the hype is, so I'd be willing to watch it.
Okay, cool. Well, see, there you go. Now you have it in to watch it. That's what I do when I kind of don't want to watch those types of movies, but I do. I always say, like, my wife made me put it on, or my kids wanted to watch it, so.
Right.
So you have that. See, there you go.
There we go.
You could use that as an excuse. But yeah, my wife's still trying to get me to watch the Twilight movies every year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you a Twilight fan, Rebecca, at all?
My daughter is. So I had to rewatch the whole entire saga because I wouldn't let her watch the movie until she read the book. That's my deal.
Oh, there you go.
That's a pretty cool deal, though.
That's fair. That's an awesome deal, actually. And Twilight, I don't know. Robert Pattinson, though, man, he's going places.
I loved him in Tenet.
He's going places. I loved him in Tenet. And I what's that?
Batman.
Which also got pushed back, which we can talk about some other time.
Yeah.
Right? Got delayed.
Everything got pushed back.
Man, Wonder Woman is still kind of just like barely holding on to that slot. They're like, we're going to do it, but I mean, come on. Like,
I kind of hope they do. Like, just let us have entertainment during this time.
We need something.
I agree. And I think Disney was smart by putting Soul on Disney Plus.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll see how that Regal's closing down. Everything's closing down.
But you know what? You can't close down. You can't close down good classic Halloween movies. Right?
You can't. That's a good way to get us on track. I'm sorry.
You can't. No, but you can't. No matter what's going on with our pandemic, they can't stop us from watching what we like to watch every year.
That is true.
I'm excited for this, Kevin. You proposed this idea, and I thought it was such a great idea.
Yeah. So like,
go for it.
Just like you said, man, it's the Halloween time. It's getting around the spooky season, and people are starting to watch more horror movies and, kind of get into the spirit a little bit. So thought it'd be fun to talk about our favorite movies to watch around this time of year. Just talk about, what puts us in the mood for the season and what gets us excited. And it could be, your favorite horror movies. It could be just the movies you like to watch sometimes, the more fun ones around this time of year. We can just talk about those. And I'm not sure exactly how we want to start this, but we can just kind of go off our list. We each made a list of 5 movies that we really, really dig during this time of year. Actually, we'll shoot it to Rebecca if you want to go first.
Yeah, great idea.
We can hear some of your movies, and I'm excited to hear what you got to say.
It's kind of interesting because I have not suitable for younger viewers, but then I have my family list. So I'm going to kind of stick to that because it's more inclusive that way. But definitely Hocus Pocus, Casper. Yes. And for me, I like the original Amityville Horror. That's a must always, because you have to have that strong soundtrack that goes with the spookiness and the eeriness of the movie. Absolutely. Those older movies. So, and then for the funnier side is Young Frankenstein for sure, and the cult classic Nightmare Before Christmas.
Of course. That's a great list. I actually was like, Hocus Pocus was like kind of tinkering on my top 5 because we do watch it every year, but it didn't really quite make the cut. But I wonder what Nolan has on his list.
Well, Hocus Pocus always, I watch it every year too. Not really. I just watched it for the first time this year.
Did you?
I did, yeah. It was actually really fun.
It's fun, yeah.
But for my top movies to watch during this time, I got some good movies. So first, I got a lot. You're gonna see a lot of Stephen King because
of course,
I love Stephen King's classic works, and his classic It has to be on there. It's it made everybody afraid of clowns growing up. And it was just so great, so eerie. When he's like, Georgie, you're like, oh no.
So, dude, Tim Curry killed him.
He was amazing. But if you look on the flip side of that, the new It movies are also on my list because I absolutely love the new It. I love the first one more than the second.
Right.
I thought the child actors that they had on there did a phenomenal job.
Yes.
And they captured the essence of it. It was so good. And clowns are always going to be on the top of the list for everybody when it comes to what scares you. I mean, they don't scare me, but okay, if a clown came scratching at my window at night, I would be a little freaked out because why is he there?
It's terrifying.
Yeah. Another Stephen King movie, which I'm not sure a lot of people are familiar with, would be Silver Bullet.
Oh, yes.
Love Silver Bullet. It is about a reverend that turns into a werewolf and terrorizes a small town. And it's amazing. Gary Busey, as Uncle Red.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember watching that growing up, and I can watch that now and still say that's an amazing movie. That reverend, even when he wasn't the werewolf, still scares the hell out of me. Just the look on him, you're like, oh, don't go to church. But really, go to church, yes.
Yeah.
Next 2 would be more modern movies. The next one's one of my favorite movies of all time now, and it's Zombieland.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely love the first Zombieland. It was just this, kick the door in and take no prisoners. And Woody Harrelson was just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Tallahassee.
Yeah.
And the whole cast worked so well. I loved it. I loved that, there's a lot of comedy mixed in, a lot of graphic design elements, and a good story. So nice. I feel like that should be on everybody's list. And my last one, myself and my brother were actually fortunate enough to watch the premiere of this at Comic-Con years ago, and it's Trick or Treat.
Oh, yes.
With Sam, the adorable little, gunny sack head guy with a popsicle that kills people. Oh, it's a modern day classic. Like,
It is.
I absolutely love Trick or Treat, and I know there's a comic book out now as well, so I want to track that down from Legendary. So that would be
Yeah.
my top 5 for around Halloween time.
Very cool. Well, yeah. Well, actually, my number one was also Trick or Treats. I absolutely, as you said, it's a modern masterpiece, is what it is.
It is.
It's brilliant, and the way they connect all the stories together in the thread, with Sam and everything was really cool. But yeah, it's got a cool anthology feel to it, and I freaking love it. Like the whole cast is amazing, and
They are.
yeah. Like that movie's at the top of my list for sure. That's why I started at the top, because you hadn't mentioned it. So, but also on my list, Paranorman. Paranorman is
from Laika.
From Laika. The animation is incredible, and that's also a new kind of more of a modern one. But the story, it's like a cool zombie ghost movie for kids. Like my family love watching that every year, and I love it. The animation is absolutely beautiful, and
stop motion, it's so
dude, it's like, and the way they blend, like at the end with the little girl and the CGI and the stop motion, the way they blended it all together was just incredible. Like it was just really cool. And Laika is one of my favorite studios. They're definitely, and they're literally right down the street from us, which I thought was pretty cool.
We need to go on a tour, Kevin. Road trip and a tour.
I know. I'm working on getting it there. Actually, another one of my favorites is actually a modern one. I mean, it came out like 2 years ago, but I'm so close to the source material, and I absolutely love the movie. And it was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Because I love the books. The books were my favorites growing up. They're actually the books that got me into horror, obviously, like so many others. But the movie, I thought they killed it with the movie. They had the cool, like, Halloween type vibe with the anthology feel, but except it was happening to the actual characters, which I thought was really cool. It was really well directed. They picked some perfect stories, and Guillermo del Toro produced it. So, I mean,
Del Toro's amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing.
My daughter
everything.
got the box set of all 3
nice
paperbacks, and so she's so excited.
They're so good.
Perfect timing on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Every single book, every single story is just amazing. Like I love it. The whole book's great. So yeah, that's one of them. My last two, I picked a couple classics. Halloween, of course.
Oh yeah.
Michael Myers. You can't go wrong with that. It's still got that really cool eerie feel to it. And every time I watch it, I forget kind of how much of the action kind of happens. It's kind of like The Strangers, where everything just kind of happens in the background and not a whole lot of kind of in your face type horror. It's really subtle, and it's just watching Michael Myers, the way he walks around, and it's terrifying to me still to this day. Like they nailed
He's such an imposing
so,
figure. I agree.
He is like, he's just so like, he's got this weird childlike wonder about him, like where he's just like, he doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing. He's just very curious about what he's doing. And it sounds really bizarre.
No, I think you nailed it. But what, as the viewer, exactly what he can do. Exactly.
You know what he's capable of.
The breathing that you hear.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That breathing through the mask is just like, it's terrifying. And even the mask itself, the old William Shatner mask that they use, like, I think it's freaky. It still freaks me out.
Agreed.
It's terrifying. So my last pick for this is actually Scream. The huge Scream fan. Actually really, really likes all this. I'm a huge fan of all the Scream movies.
How many are there?
So excited for the new one. There's 4 now, but they've
I was going to say like 15.
Yeah, no. The first 2 are good. The third one's kind of blah. The fourth one's excellent. So, but yeah, Scream, it always puts me in the mood. It's good old fashioned Wes Craven, but
that's true.
I love it. It's just fun. It's not really a horror movie per se as much as a thriller, but it's cool. I like it. It's fun.
I like those picks. Wow. Scream, I didn't even think of Scream. Scream makes total sense. And I didn't think of Halloween. And it's Halloween time. Jeez.
It's really hard to narrow it. It's really hard to narrow it down to like 5. Like I was having I had movies, like Evil Dead 2 on there and Psycho and like all these other movies.
Sharknado 3,
Sharknado 3. I've actually never seen a Sharknado movie, even ironically. I haven't been able to sit and watch it yet.
I've seen one of them, and I've seen
I
one and half of two, and oh my God, they were the most ridiculous things.
God, but that's what makes them so fun, right? That's what I've heard. Like,
Yeah,
it's
like how do you
like,
jump out of a shark? Like you jumped in him and then you jumped out of him like with a chainsaw. Like, come on.
right? It's, but hey, someone came up with that idea somewhere, and they're millionaires now. So,
Or thousandaires, one of the two.
or thousandaires. Hey, man,
Kevin, I
it's a
have a
start.
question for you, if that's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Where do you stand on the originals versus remakes, such as the Amityville Horror or Pet Sematary? Where do you kind of find yourself?
Right. I generally gravitate towards the originals more often than not. There's like a few kind of outliers. Like, as much as I love the classic It, like, I do feel like they improved a lot on the mythology and the story with the remakes a little bit.
Okay.
Yep.
But it's few and far between, you know, like I was watching the Amityville Horror the other day, the Ryan Reynolds one.
Yeah.
And that was like, it was good, but like, it wasn't as like intense or scary as they were able to get away with in like the 70s or, you know, whatever.
Yep.
But generally, I think I've kind of warmed up to remakes and reboots because I'm like, the original's always going to be there. So it's like, you can't really erase that. But yeah, most of the time I gravitate towards the originals.
Okay. I was just curious, especially since Nolan mentioned, you know, Stephen King, and there's a lot of older movies based on books and literature, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's you know, and you can also, like, I think a lot of people get upset because like something like It, for example, like you can have two versions of the movie It's fine. It's just two different interpretations of the same book. You know what I mean? So it's not really you know, people get upset. They get aggravated. They're like, why are you remaking this? And it's like, well, we're making the book.
So like,
that we knew from back in the day, you know, where the two VHS that you had to switch in the middle, you know.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I remember that. Jeez.
So do you think the Hubie Halloween book's going to be better than the movie?
Probably. I would definitely recommend reading the book over the movie any day. Go seek out the book, Hubie Halloween. You will not be disappointed. Just promise me you won't watch the movie until you read the book.
It's probably a coloring book.
Oh man,
I'm sorry. I will stop. I will.
No, you're fine. No, dude, I love it. Yeah, but yeah, read the book. Thumbs up.
Even if it's a coloring book, just read the damn book.
Even if it's a coloring book, read the damn book. Then you can watch the movie. Then I won't even be mad. It's all right. It's free on Netflix. You know, you can't beat it, so you're good to go. All right. Well,
true.
speaking of great, of awesome Netflix movies, there's another one you should probably watch instead of Hubie Halloween, and that is Vampires versus the Bronx.
Oh,
which
now I saw your review on this, Kevin, and it sounds like it's a good movie.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I mean, the title says it all. It's vampires trying to take over the Bronx. They have their reasons. I don't want to spoil that for you, but a group of teenage kids, you know, try to stop them. They come along with their, you know, they come around to their master plan and try to stop them. And it's just a really fun, like, it's like old school, like 80s, 90s kind of family kind of horror, not family horror movies, but that kind of vibe. Really, yeah, so you can watch.
I love the 90s.
Yeah, like it had this really cool, like it did kind of remind me a little bit of like, you know, kind of like the Lost Boys vibe, but like I said in the review, it had the vibe of it. I just kept on flicking back to the Ninja Turtle movie from 1989.
See, and that's what made me pretty excited because I loved the first two Ninja Turtle movies.
Yeah, same here. Like I remember seeing those as a kid, and like even kind of knowing like this is kind of dark even for me, you know, at like 9 years old. Like I'm like, this is cool, but I'm a little scared right now. But that's what this movie felt like. It kind of felt like that kind of throwback to that kind of feeling where it wasn't afraid to kind of be scary still and still be like a family friendly type movie. There's not a lot of blood. There's not a lot of like cursing or anything like that. It would definitely be PG if it was all based during the day. Like, you know, but but yeah, highly recommend checking it out. The direction is great. The writing is incredible. It's a lot deeper than you see on the surface. It's not just about these vampires and these kids in the Bronx. It has a deeper message to it, and it's a lot more deep that adults are going to take from it than kids will take from it. But very serious issues that I think are, very important to talk about right now. And the filmmakers have found a way to really tell them in a very, to say what they want to say in a very entertaining package. So yeah,
this sounds interesting.
Checking it out. Yeah.
So what you said was like Hubie Halloween first, then Vampires versus the Bronx.
Yeah. So let's go. I would put Hubie Halloween, Twilight.
Now you're just messing with me, Kevin.
Twilight. No, actually, we'll put Twilight ahead of Hubie Halloween. Which I'd be fine with.
I feel attacked. I have nothing to do with Hubie Halloween, but I feel attacked.
Better be taking notes.
You're taking notes. Hubie Halloween, man. We will do a Hubie Halloween special once.
We have to now.
We will. We will definitely do that and talk about it and discuss it, and maybe
immortalize it. Yes.
Maybe we'll get Sandler on and ask him what the hell he's doing.
And then I'll tell him, thank you, sir, for everything you do.
Thank you for your service. We appreciate it. Yeah, and you know what? He's one of those guys I would not have a problem with talking to. So I'm putting it out into the universe.
Absolutely.
On, man. You could talk to him.
Awesome.
I'm sure he'll totally want to come on now. If he ever gets a glimpse of this, those guys, let's go.
He's going to come in with his Hubie voice. Yeah. He'll talk to you in his Hubie voice to you. I don't even know what it sounds like, but when you described it, I was like, oh.
And the thing is, I would be totally okay with that if he was sitting down right there. I'd be cool with it. It'd be fine. We know what to expect
on a future episode. Hubie Halloween.
Hubie Halloween.
With a Zoom bomb by Adam Sandler.
Oh, man, that would be great. That would be fun. But yeah, Hubie Halloween, check it out on Netflix, as well as Vampires versus Zombies.
Probably check out that one first.
Vampires
versus the Bronx.
I'm in the zombies mode. Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay. It's that time of the year.
It is. Right? It is.
All the ghoulies are coming out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're excited for this time of year. We decorated our house. Going to Pumpkin Patch this weekend and be doing all that stuff.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Definitely, especially during this pandemic, whatever we can find to do to still celebrate these, these times, Halloween, I was a kid, that was one of the best times,
Yeah.
I know it's a very different look right now, but please, families, do what you can to enjoy it with your children.
Yes.
Because they'll remember it. Even though this pandemic's going on, they're going to remember what you did during this time. So I hope you all have a safe Halloween.
Definitely. Please do. Everyone, yes, have a safe Halloween.
Oh no, did Kevin freeze? I think he was so excited about the safe Halloween he froze. Oh, there he is. He's back. The magic of Zoom.
Scared stiff.
Zoom is incredible. And I got this thing where so I'm on the iPad and it's connected to my wife's phone. So whenever someone calls, so you'll see me drop off every now and again. So whenever someone calls, it totally freezes my video and it yells at me to answer the phone. And so she needs to answer her phone and I can't, be like, you need to answer your phone. So that's why I freeze sometimes.
It's fine, man. I mean, Zoom was a new thing for most of us this year. So no worries, man. I mean, we had that one time where Eddie went sideways, so don't worry.
That was great.
Never letting us forget that one.
That was awesome.
That
was awesome. But yeah, so that was our very first episode of Popcorn, Pastrami Nation Popcorn. We did it. We made it through. I want to thank you guys for doing it. It was a lot of fun. We talked about some cool things, and there will be more of these in the future to look forward to. Over the next few weeks, even after the Halloween season, we'll be talking about movies and TV, and it'll be a good time. So please join us for all of those. And don't forget to visit pastramination.com to read your favorite reviews, articles, and interviews. Watch these videos, read the interviews. You can also find us on the SoundCloud.
We're on SoundCloud. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts. But we're also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. We have a massive following on Pinterest, and I'm not even being sarcastic. We really do.
That's awesome. We do have a lot of people on Pinterest, actually. I follow the board. I haven't been on Pinterest a whole lot, but pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
Very
well,
cool.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for inviting us to be a part of this inaugural episode. I so look forward to talking more about movies, more about TV, and you better believe when Christmas time comes around, we have to talk about It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Top 5
It's a classic.
And Hubie Christmas.
Yes. Top 5 Hubie Christmas. Just give it a couple years. Give it a couple years. It'll happen. It'll happen.
I agree. It will happen.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you,
you,
Nolan. And it was great seeing you all. Have a good night.
All right. Have a good one.